Alright, well, this is my game pitch. So, the idea that I had is that I want to mix together Worms and Terraria. So, we keep the turn-based ranged gameplay of Worms with the destructible environments, but add more of the mining and building aspects from Terraria. Much like Worms and Terraria, the main demographic would be people wanting to play a game with uh, all their friends, much like a party game in this instance. This game could work well on PC or console, really. The player motivation would be very simple. You just want to kill all the other players before you get killed. Narrative. When it comes to a game like this, you want to keep the narrative relatively simple. That being said, though, you could still have something like each player or team is made up of a different faction, which could be easily represented by color. Or maybe instead of a faction, different countries, continents, etc. And they're all at war with each other. Although not needed, that couldn't hurt. Gameplay, as stated before, it would be very similar to Worms in the sense that each player would have to wait their turn to move, attack, or build in this instance. And you would have 60 minutes or whatever. This could be changed in the settings, like a lobby settings. And you have the entire time to move around, but once you use a weapon, you can only use it once or twice, and then your turn's basically over. However, added to Worms would be the building aspects from Terraria. And I was thinking in this instance, you could also build as much as you want within the time limit, but you need to gather resources to actually build the things you want. So say if you wanted to build a metal wall, you would need metal or steel or iron, whatever. And to prevent people from just building and nothing else, another idea I had is, say a player is right next to a tree and they need wood to build something. Obviously you would want to stop them from gathering that wood, but if you're on the other side of the map or something, instead of collecting the wood yourself, you could shoot it with a missile or something, destroying it, preventing the person from collecting the materials. The art style, we would want to keep it cartoonish, much like Worms, for the cartoony violence. Doing 8-bit or 16-bit or etc. would make the building much easier. However, I thought a much more stylized aesthetic like Shovel Knight would fit this game quite well. The main inspirations are clear, Worms and Terraria, but I thought it would also be nice to include things from Shovel Knight and maybe even Duck Game, a very similar game to this. Conclusion. We would want to cut off as much fat as possible, so the main thing would be the story, which is the least important thing in a game like this. Because if the gameplay's not good, no one's going to play it. When it comes to games like this, the gameplay is the entire selling point. And tagline could be something as simple as build, destroy, kill.